Welcome back! Teletherapy, Articulation, Therapy Edition. Why am I singing that? Full disclosure, this is like my 4th attempt at this video, and it's actually my 2nd attempt on this current version of it. Oh my gosh, do I have to do the whole thing? I probably will do the whole thing because I just noticed that was in camera. Crap! I tried doing this in different ways as if I'm doing an articulation therapy session. I did not like how it turned out, so I'm doing it in this format where I just give my tricks, tips, and everything else. Context: I work at a pediatric outpatient clinic. That's really hard for me to say for some reason. At this current time, about 80% of my clients are now in clinic. When I first started at this location, it was more of a 50-50 mix, so I had that, and now I'm mostly in clinic with everything. Very rarely do I actually work from home because of teletherapy days. Yeah, no. In addition to that, I see my clients one-on-one. I do not see them in a group setting. If you see your clients in a group setting, these tips and tricks may help you. I hope they do. You may need to modify them. Tip 1. Parents are amazing when they work with you. Not all my patients have parents nearby. In fact, if they're school age, parents tend not to be there. Before I started at the pediatric outpatient, the clinician before me was amazing. She actually warned the parents and gave them tips and tricks of things to do at home and what to essentially look for during therapy sessions. A few of the things that she told the parents were, "This is what I'm listening for," going over the goals again. Here are some approximations that your child may do that they should not be doing. Here are some approximations of things you may hear that I want you to know of, and it's going towards the right track. And lastly, please let me know what you hear, because sometimes online we can't hear all the sounds that we would hear in clinic. Let me know when they get it right, and let me know when they don't get it right. When parents are not around, I feel like I have to read through an articulation book and go through every single method, everything. This includes having to do visual, tactile, where they have to tactile prompt themselves, and try and get them motivated. Oh my word. We will get into that in a moment. But to do every single type of prompting in a short amount of time is insane. Feel free to bring everything in. You are going to have your bag of tricks and essentially unload it for the child. The tricks stay the same, motivation changes. Tip 2. Overemphasizing sucks. Overemphasizing sucks, but it's kind of a necessary evil right now. It's actually a necessary evil in some cases. There are kids where you cannot hear the sounds that they are making, and sometimes it's even harder for the parents because their ears aren't trained for articulation. And sometimes the only way to make sure they are getting the sound is by overemphasizing the sound. I don't do this for a lot of my clients. I actually do it for very few. For one kiddo, when we were doing teletherapy, I always pushed for the overemphasification. When that client comes back into the clinic, we'll work on making it softer or not as overemphasized. She has actually come back into the clinic, and she's doing very well on switching from going from overemphasis. Why am I wanting to say overemphasification? She is now coming back into the clinic, and we're working on not overemphasizing sounds. She's actually catching on to it very well because she does not like coming up to me and just overemphasizing a sound. She wants it to be streamlined. Now that is for a client that is coming back into the clinic, which kind of leads me to the next one. Tip 3. Know your timeline. Some parents may want to come back in the clinic or school or wherever you are at, and some may not. For the parents that want to come back into the clinic, let them know their role in home when it comes to speech therapy. They want to come back in the clinic, that's great. They need to help maintain. Making progress is great, but they really need to help maintain until they come back. The sooner they come back, the more it's like, okay, well, just maintain it for now. You're coming back in. If we get some more sounds in, if we get more emphasizing in, if we get more production at home, that will make things a little bit easier when they come back in the clinic. If parents do not want to come back into the clinic, school, wherever you are at, more is going to be placed on those parents for the sheer fact you're not seeing the client. It is a balancing game, and it's a horrible balancing game, and I 100% admit that. More pressure may be placed on the parents and even the child, the patient themselves, because you don't know when they're coming in. They don't know when they're coming in. Tip 4, know your kids. Dude, let them have an investment. First off, I'm from California. Dude is everything. Now this may sound a little weird, but it is so true. There are some kids where you as the clinician, you can lead everything and it's all gonna go well. And there are some kids, the moment you try to touch what they want to do, it's over. I'm going to talk about that second group of what is their investment? Why are they coming into speech? A lot of people may say they're being forced, parents are forcing them to sit down. Well, yeah, that is very valid. I'm not going to discredit that. What do they want to do? What's their motivation in life? Is it the same now as it's going to be in 5 minutes? The other day I had a telesession and we've been through so many things. We went fishing in a bucket. We ran around the room, mainly as a movement activity because he just needed to move. We played hide and seek. He played teacher. We sang the Dinos on the Bus song. If you've never heard of Dinos on the Bus, it's very, very similar to the Wheels on the Bus, but instead of wheels, we have dinosaurs that make sounds. And ironically, we can't talk about them going all through town without the sounds. He caught on really quickly. For kids that like to go on camera, I give them a piece of their own medicine, and that mainly means I pull a trick on them. I have turned off my camera during the session, and they have to tell me some phrase to get me back. Now mind you, I turn off my camera, not my microphone. Two very different things. The most common articulation sounds that I work on, other than and are actually k and g. Go figure. Come back is a beautiful phrase because we work on those k sounds. And by golly, if I can get 5 repetitions of come back, I won the lotto. Now, what other investments or control opportunities could you give the kids? I personally use websites where they can make things, like making a cookie, making ice cream. There's one for making a car that I really don't understand, but I don't care at some points. I let them have fun on my iPad that I can connect to my teletherapy sessions. Some of my teletherapy sessions, we just draw, and I give them control to control my computer to draw, which is really scary some days, but it works. Tip 5. It's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of true. Don't stop at just crying in your car. Find groups of other clinicians that are in the same boat as you are in. They don't have to be in the same discipline. Find other therapists. See what they're doing. This is a great time for collaboration to figure out how can we incorporate this and that. We may be a year into teletherapy extravaganza, but it doesn't mean that we should be pros at this by this time. It means we're a year into this and every kid is different and everything keeps changing. So find a group on social media, find coworkers, find people from other disciplines, talk. Express your frustration, vent, but don't stop at venting. Find solutions as well. You may need to vent for a long time first. And what may be a solution for one person may not be a solution for another. So there you have it. That's what I have for now. And it is beginning to mid-March. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, please leave a note down below. Subscribe, and remember, we are in this together. We need each other to get through this. Bye. I'm really hoping Rusty is not on camera right now because he just needs attention. Now, a lot of times, thank you. You got this.